In Greek history, historians usually distinguish between two eras: the Archaic period from 750 to 500 years before the Christian era, and the Classical Age from about 500 to 387 years before the Christian era. In this course, we will focus on the Classical Age, the period when Greece was at its height, both politically and culturally. This period spans the years from the beginning of the Persian Wars that ever so briefly united the Greek world to turn back successive Persian invasions across the Dardanelles from Asia, and up until the end of the Peloponnesian Wars, which saw Greece split into warring factions and which had disastrous effects on Greek society, and which marks the end of the Classical era. It was in the Classical period that Athens reached its greatest political and cultural heights, the full development of its democratic system of government under the Athenian statesman Pericles, the building of the Parthenon on the Acropolis, the creation of the tragedies of Sophocles, Aeschylus, and Euripides, the writing of the seminal histories of Herodotus and Thucydides, and the founding of the philosophical schools of Socrates and Plato, all within this relatively brief period of time, and during a time that was under political stress with the Peloponnesian Wars for a considerable portion of that time. So it's quite amazing to us that all of this could be accomplished under such duress and have such lasting influence for us. Now, Archaic Greece, which came before the Classical period, was a constellation of small settlements whose economic system was based on seafaring and low-level trade. There was a period of colonization in the Archaic period which saw the Greek language spread through much of the Mediterranean world. And besides this colonization, other important cultural accomplishments included the gradual adoption of the Greek alphabet that made possible Homer's two great epic poems, the Iliad and Odyssey, which are foundational in the tradition of Western literature. Now, in their focus on the individual, the Greeks heralded a new era for Western civilization. And I think that we'll see as we delve into some of the great writings of the dramatists, historians, and philosophers of the Classical era how much the conflict that they describe existing between the individual and the state continues to resonate for us today. End of part 1.